let's take this example in the business field. Okay, let's say you're a coach, consultant, service provider, freelancer, or whatever, right? You offer some sort of expertise, advice, or anything like that. Okay, now inside of a business, you have inputs again, right? You have inputs, and then you have the outputs. Now let's say that the goal is for you to make 5 lakhs in profit this month. Okay, that's the goal. And in that case, right, you have to divide the inputs and think about it from a higher level machine point of view. Okay, and then you need to think, if I want to make 5 lakhs, what are the subcomponents of my machine that need to function in order to produce the outputs that I desire. Okay, so let's take into account the first thing that I would need is my marketing. The second thing I would need is my sales, right? And then the third thing I would require is my fulfillment. Now, in a business, typically these are the 3 main things that you can actually 3 main operational functions, right? Obviously there are a lot more, but these are the 3 main ones, right? You've got marketing. If marketing can bring you sales, and then sales leads to fulfillment. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to analyze this whole machine from a bigger level perspective. Okay, now this is something that I just drew out vaguely. But if you have to look into let's say our particular example, right? Let's say you're trying to use a funnel system, like just like how we are using inside of our business, right? What's going to happen is for marketing, right, you will have the ad, then you will have the landing page, and then you will have the booking or the application. That's the process that we personally use. Okay, and then you have the call, and then you have the sale. Okay, this is how we personally look at the machine from and this is how our funnel system works. Now this might be different for you. Chances are that you are hosting a webinar, chances are that you're doing something else that's completely different. But according to us, this is like by far the best system, and this is what works for us. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to look and analyze the system from the whole. Okay, and what we do is we calculate our goals backwards, right? So if our goal is to make 5 lakhs, how many calls do I need to do? Let's say that my closing rate or conversion rate is 20%. Okay, so if my goal is to make 5 lakhs and I'm selling a product, let's say for 50K, okay, it's just an example, then I require 10 sales in order to accomplish my target. Now, if I require 10 sales in order to accomplish my target, at a 20% conversion rate, I need to do 50 calls, right? So just to clarify this, goal is to make 5 lakhs. We are selling the product for 50,000. And, in order to achieve 50,000, you just basically divide 5 lakhs by 50,000, and that'll give you 10. And that's what you need to do. And then our conversion rate, let's say based on our historic figures or whatever, is 20%. So this means we need to do 50 calls in order to accomplish our goal of 5 lakhs, right? Now, let's say that, to generate these 50 calls, considering that 50% of the people that we talk to, okay, let's say that they are not qualified, or let's say that they do not show up or whatever, right? This means that we require 100 applications so that 50 people who don't show up or they are cancelled or whatever can give us the remaining 50 calls. This is something we are doing just to be on the safe side. If we can produce 100 applications, out of which those 50% actually get into the call, we can actually get 10 sales at a 20% conversion rate. Okay, so if that is the case, okay, on our landing page slash leads, right, in order to get 100 applications of people filling out like a form, giving you the information to talk to you inside of our landing page, right? Inside of a landing page, the number of leads that are required, let's assume that 10% of the people go to our landing page and then end up applying for everything, right? 10% of the leads that we capture, let's say that this landing page has an opt-in. You have like an email, you have first name, right? So we have that, so that people can actually enter that, and then they will be going to a form that they'll be filling out, and then they'll be getting on a call so that they could actually get closed, right? So inside of this landing page, let's assume that 10% of the people, 10% of the leads that we get, people who fill out these emails, will turn out into applications, okay? So if that's the scenario, then we require 1,000 leads in order to accomplish our target of getting 100 applications. So if we can get 1,000 leads, which means people to fill out their email and everything, and then they go to this form kind of page where they will be filling out an application. So out of 1,000 leads, we will end up getting 100 applications. Out of 100 applications, we will get 50 calls, and then out of 50 calls, we will get 10 sales. Okay, that's simple math. Now to get 1,000 leads, right? Let's say that a landing page conversion rate is 20%. Okay, so this means if our landing page conversion rate is 20%, then we require approximately 5,000 clicks from the ad or our marketing systems in order to accomplish this target of 1,000 leads, right? So if we can get 5,000 clicks, 1,000 leads we will generate at a 20% conversion rate, out of which at a 10% conversion rate, 10% of the people will apply, out of which we will end up getting 50 calls, and out of which, we can actually get 10 sales. And now if our goal is to make 10 lakhs, then we just simply double the activities. So we will get 20 sales. The number of calls we will do would be 100. Number of applications will be 200. Leads will be 2,000, and clicks will be 10,000. Okay. Now, this is how you look at the machine from a higher level perspective. Now, chances are, let's say that you start this goal. Okay. Let's say that, today is October 1st, and you start this whole process. And by the time it's the end of the month, okay, end of October, what ends up happening is the results come back, and rather than the 5,000 clicks, let's say that you only got 2,000 clicks. If you got 2,000 clicks, obviously the number of leads that you will get would be less, the number of applications that you will get would be less, and the number of calls that you would get would be less, and then obviously you won't be able to accomplish this target. So now what you have done is you have identified the bottleneck, that the problem was, the reason why I was unable to accomplish my goal of 5 lakhs profit was because I was only able to get 2,000 clicks from the ad. So next time, in order to improve, I need to fix my ad and make sure that I can actually generate 5,000 clicks, so that I can actually make the money that I really, really want to make, right? And let's say that, okay, this was the example of an ad. Let's say that you do get 5,000 clicks. Okay, let's say that you do end up getting 5,000 clicks, but the landing page, okay, this does not convert at 20%, because of which, let's say we end up getting 500 leads. So that's less than what we had anticipated, because of which the number of applications that we will get will be less, number of calls we will get would be less, and obviously the number of sales that we will make would be less as well, right? It's pretty simple. And then you can also do this. Let's say that, rather than, let's say that you do get 5,000 clicks, you do get 1,000 leads, but 100 applications you do not get, right? Out of these 1,000 leads, let's say only 5% of the people apply. So this means you end up getting 50 applications. Now, 50 applications won't be sufficient, because this will only generate you around about 25 calls. And then that's not close to our target, right? So we have identified that this is the bottleneck, and because of this, our goal of 5 lakhs won't be achieved. Okay. Now, again, let's say that you do end up getting 100 applications, right? But out of those people, let's say more number of people, let's say they didn't show up, or you canceled the application. That could be like 500 different reasons why exactly that happened. But let's say you're not able to do 50 calls and you only manage to do 20 calls. Would that give us the output that we are looking for? Absolutely not, right? So the bottleneck this time would be this or calls, right? And this is how we can actually identify, okay, where exactly are we lacking inside of our system, so that we can technically fix it and make sure that we are not in the position of hand to mouth, and we can actually accomplish a goal of 5 lakhs or whatever target that you set for yourself. So next time when a business owner comes to me, this is the concept that I try to explain to them. So next time you think that my business is going down or something is XYZ is happening, try to look at the machine from a higher level perspective and try to figure out what inputs were fed into the machine because of which the output produced was not the way you wanted it to be. What exactly went wrong and what needs to be fixed? Which part of the entire machine needs fixing? This is what you need to do. And if you can learn this concept, trust me, forget business, you can improve any area of your life, irrespective of whatever you're trying to accomplish.